Good morning. Hi, this is Travis from the National Weather Service and your weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, March 9th. We're going to have very cold air moving into the area. It's actually moving in already. We have northerly winds coming down the Snake Plain from a very cold Arctic air mass, Arctic cold front. The northerly winds have moved all the way down to the I-84, I-86 junction, and we have snow moving along that line, moving through just currently Pocatello now, and that will continue to move down the Snake Plain this morning into early afternoon, and that will continue to bring light to moderate snow across our southern areas. We have discontinued all the warnings and advisories for our northern areas, but for our southern areas, we have kept those going, particularly with the breezy conditions and the chance of blowing and drifting snow, particularly across the Snake Plain and ridge tops and passes. Have kept that going. So from here, when that kind of that will end mostly by noon, linger a little bit in the Wasatch to early to mid-afternoon. But when that ends, we'll have very cold air to contend with. We'll be looking at record low highs a little bit today, but more so widespread tomorrow, Thursday, and then record lows for tonight and a little bit on Friday, but very widespread record lows for Thursday morning. And then high pressure builds back in, clearing conditions on Thursday, Friday, all through and Saturday. There's a weak chance for precip on Sunday, but the key element here is that high pressure building in and wind shift back to the southwest of the northerly by late Thursday and particularly Friday. We'll have warmer temperatures and back to normal by Saturday, and especially normal to a little bit above on Sunday. This is you can kind of see the drier, colder air kind of pushing through the very last couple frames here. It's kind of midway through the Snake Plain currently, and that's going to push all the way through. It's going to take that northwest flow and kind of push it back a little bit, but that will build back in as we go into Thursday and especially Friday. Again, I mentioned the just breezy conditions across the Snake Plain, gusting 20-25. I'll show you that graphic here in a minute. That will lend to some pretty strong wind chills, near negative 20 now for a couple isolated areas, but that will just be for an hour or so, and then it'll be more significant on Thursday morning across the eastern highlands right along the Montana Divide. So we do have a wind chill warning out for those areas. We do, again, continue for the snow. Generally just 1 to 3 inches, maybe around 1 inch in the Snake Plain, eastern Magic Valley, 2 against the, right along the bench areas. And then in general, 1 to 3 across the southern highlands, southeast highlands, a little bit more in the Wasatch Mountains, although there is a little discrepancy in the models, and I'll show that here in a minute. Probably the 2-inch range is probably good. There is a potential for a little bit higher, 4 to 5 inches potentially. But again, there is some model discrepancy on how much more remaining snow. They've had quite a bit, but how much remaining snow will happen in the Wasatch area. So here's the remaining advisories and then warning. This is the one where there's a little bit of discrepancies. Some models were showing about 5 or 6 inches, maybe 7 earlier. Now that looks like that's backed off to 2 or 3 inches for this area. And then we're looking about 1 to 3 for the rest of this areas that's in the purple. Again, I'm mentioning the Snake Plain. We are looking at the gusts of 20-25 that will create some blowing and drifting. There will be some snow in the Sun Valley area in that 1 to 3 inches range, and then in the mountains as well. And here's that wind chill warning that I mentioned for Thursday morning, although there is some out there now. Here's the remaining snowfall amounts for today. As I mentioned, in that 1 to 3 area, and then the mountains look to get more, 3 to 5 inches. And again, the models were showing a little bit heavier, maybe 6 to 7 earlier as far as additional, but a lot of that time period's already passed. I think it's a good range of in that 2 to 4 range for these mountain areas that you kind of see. And then lower areas will be 1 to 3. High temperatures for today, quite cold, a good 20 degrees below normal, 25 degrees, particularly for our northern areas, below normal. So very, very cold for this time of year. Here's the probabilities, a chance of 2 inches. You can see those probabilities. The blues are in the only the dark blues are near 90. So we're looking at about 70 to 80% for 2 inches or more in these areas here. And then 4 inches, you can see pretty low probabilities across the area for that to occur for remaining for today. Again, there's a little discrepancy for when the snow graphics were made. Those were made a couple hours earlier than when this starts. So that accounted for a couple more hours where it was snowing pretty heavy this morning. So that's where the couple inches discrepancy comes from. Wind gusts today, you can see 20-25 with that northerly. It'll make it all the way down the plain, the northerly winds. Currently it's about here, the junction, but it will make it all the way, including our southern areas, through the remainder of the day. The coldest day will be Thursday. Widespread records expected, not only for the lows but also for the highs. That'll be the low-high records across the area, but you can see both are quite low. And there's your wind chills for Thursday morning. So these two areas, these zones up here is where we put the wind chill warning. That may need to be extended down a little bit, but right now it looks like it's just going to stay on the tip of this zone here. So we'll just keep these two zones in it, but it will be very, very close, Rexburg, Idaho Falls, and INL as well. So those may be added later. And then here's our high temperatures for Friday. It is warming up by Friday afternoon. Again, still well below normal, and most of the warm-ups to our, in our southwest areas, and that becomes much more widespread warm-up by Saturday, near normal for almost all areas, and then definitely near normal to slightly above normal on Sunday. Precip outlook still looks like there's a couple systems out there. There's a weak one on Sunday, maybe just all rain, but the more significant one looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then there's additional ones out there, but it's a little uncertain to see how strong those are going to be at this point. Near normal temperatures throughout the 6-10 day outlook. And just a quick summary, we do have that cold Arctic air mass has moved through most of our area, still moving through the Snake Plain, and with some lingering snow. In general, 1 to 3 inches for our southern and southwestern areas, and for the central mountains, a little bit higher amounts, 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches for the Albion Mountains and Wasatch for remaining today. But the bigger story will be as we clear out the cold air, and as that continues to filter over the divide. We do have a wind chill warning in effect for Thursday morning along the Montana divide, but it'll be cold air everywhere. Record temperatures widespread on Thursday, near record to some isolated records today and Friday. Temperatures will moderate as we go into Friday, and particularly Saturday and Sunday, where we go back to normal, if not above normal, by Sunday. That concludes the briefing. If you have any questions, give us a call at this number. Thank you.